So the last time when I talked about the RetroPie, it was kind of a technical thing, and because I showed all the parts that I bought, and I showed all the prices, and then I put it together on camera. I think I even talked about how to set it up and how then I some network technical nerdy stuff. But why is that? I thought because most of the videos that I've seen about the RetroPie, or at the Raspberry Pi, I should say, are technical videos, and what that does to people who aren't technical is that they think maybe I shouldn't get this because it looks scary and it's technical and I'm not technical, and how am I gonna do all that if I don't know what I'm doing? And that's a good point. I know what I'm doing. I'm sort of a technical nerd, and if I don't know something, then I can either find it or ask someone that does know. But I thought I'd do this video to talk about this thing in a non-technical way. I bought the parts. Now, the good thing about buying the parts is that if you're sort of on a small budget, you can buy the parts piece by piece. But that makes it so that you have to build it yourself. If you have half a brain, you can put it together. But you still have to have half a brain. If you don't have half that brain for technical stuff, then you can buy them ready-made. The thing is that there's lots of people like me who can build these things, but they'll build them the way they think it's right. So you have to really know what you want, and you have to talk to the people who sell them to say, this is what I want. Is that what it does? Once it's done, it's just a console. And you don't have to fidget with it. I mean, the chance that anything goes wrong with this is just as high as your classic mini having a problem, or your PS1 having a problem. So you're screwed anyway. So then what you're left with is a little box that has a couple of USB ports. It has an HDMI port and a power input, and that's it. You connect it to your monitor or your HDMI thing. You can connect a wired controller, is what I do, but you can also use a Bluetooth controller. Basically, it's not that I've tested, but it recognizes a lot of controllers that are out there. And I guess the most technical thing you'll ever run into then is the micro flash thing that's in here, and that will be the software. That is actually in technical terms, it's the disk of this thing, and it boots from that. It has the operating system, and it has all the emulators, but it also has all the games. So if you feel brave enough to add games, or even maybe change stuff, then you can get this out, connect it to your computer somehow, and put games. Could put games on it, and that is as simple as just copying it in the correct folder, and it'll run. I mean, it's still very easy. So for non-technical people, it's safe to buy one that was built by someone that either can build them, you know them personally, or it's someone who sold many and who comes with good references in that regard. And then this will just be as good as your classic mini. In fact, there are preferences. There are preferences in the kind of games that you want on there. I wanted the classic mini and the classic, the classic mini set, like the NES and the SNES. And you can get images that offer both, and that even come in a case. I mean, I went for the black case, but there are tons of cases. There's one thing. There's not one version of the Raspberry Pi. That's one thing that I've heard. I'm going to put it down because I'm waving it around all the time. That doesn't add anything. I've heard it said that there's so many options. Yes, there are probably many options. Again, technical websites by technical people. It caters to the people that know stuff about it. There are several Raspberry Pis. This is I have the Raspberry Pi. Yeah, Raspberry Pi 3. I'm choosing my words. But there was a 2 and there was a 1 and there was a 2A and a 2B and a 3B and so there are choices. And the one that you get now, the latest one, is 3B. So it's, it pays to get the latest one because that will be the fastest one and most capable of running the stuff that you want to run. I would not expect a Raspberry Pi to emulate the Wii or the PS2 very well. But if you go to the low-end 8-bit, 16-bit machines, I mean, I've seen it run more than that, and it can run PS2, but don't expect top performance. And still emulators, but the NES and the Super NES. The image that I'll show you around on mine. I've changed my image. I've changed my image so that it has all the NES, the Nintendo console. So the NES, it has the Famicom, it has the Super NES, it has the Super Famicom, and it has the classic mini and the classic mini NES, Jesus Christ, and the classic mini SNES, including Star Fox 2. So to me, I'm done. One big drawback for the system as it is set up for me right now, that this thing as I lied. Well, I caught myself before I lied. I was going to say this thing doesn't have save states, but it does. Because I just remembered, as I wanted to say it doesn't have save states, I remembered seeing a video where a guy explains how you can save a game. The interface isn't as pretty because you have to take your controller and press like the left trigger and the select button, and it'll save the game. And you can load it from there and continue where you left off. Now, the interface for the actual classic minis is nicer. But let me show you what it looks like. And I'm going to have to point the camera at the screen because I can't capture the footage. So you'll get a feel. And remember that the hardware, I paid around 80 to 90 euros. So for that amount, if someone can build it for that amount, he's not making a lot of money. And the images, you don't pay for the images. That's just people making their own images and distributing them for free on the internet. Technical people can make their own images, but I don't even go that far. So I just download an image, put it on that. The point that I'm making is that it costs no money. It's not legal because it has all the ROMs on, but it doesn't cost you any money. Anything else I want to say? Yeah, the last thing perhaps is that the classic, the proper Nintendo products, you can just power off and it's all good. This thing, you cannot just pull the power. In fact, it doesn't have an on-off button. It has a power jack, and you have to put the power in, and then it turns off, and you turns on, and you turn it off by pulling the wire. But there's a slight problem. It's a Linux operating system that runs on this. If you just pull the plug, there's a chance that the file system is going to corrupt. Oh, file system corrupt. Oh God, I don't want that. You just have to remember to shut it down the way it's supposed to be shut down. Don't just pull the plug. Just choose the option, shut down, and it'll shut down, no problem. That's the proper procedure. That's the way you would turn off your computer. You wouldn't just pull the plug out of your PC, would you? So this thing needs to be treated with a little bit of care. Now, there are cases out there that it's called the SNES Pi. It houses the same Raspberry Pi as I have. I'm holding it again. But it looks like an NES, and it looks very good. It looks very, very nice. It's got all kinds of nice. You can plug in your controllers, and you plug in the power and all that. It even has, there we go, a power button. Like the old NES had a power button. You can turn it on and off. If you get the SNES Pi case, it's about $40, euros, I don't know. If you get that, you have to take care with the fact that that power button will just power off the system where it is, and Linux isn't going to like that. So you have to have the people who build it for you must have thought about the power down procedure. Am I still making sense? God. I guess the main point that I'm making is that if you don't want to get technical with it, you don't have to. This box, I turn it on, I turn it off, I play it in the meantime, and there's nothing technical about it. Does it have a network interface? Sure it does, but, you know, who cares? You don't have to use it. It doesn't need to be connected to the internet. It has Wi-Fi, it has wired, it has all that. If you don't want to worry about it, don't worry about it. All I plug in is power, the HDMI cable, and I use a wired controller, so that's what I put in, and that's it. So I hope that if you're in doubt about should I get one or should I not get one, and the reasons for not getting one would be technical reasons, then have someone do that for you, and you won't ever have to get technical with it until it breaks. But, you know, what else is new? So I'm going to turn it on, and I'm going to point the camera at the screen, and I'm going to show a little bit of what it looks like. Let's have a little look. Yeah, and it'll take longer to boot than the regular stuff from Nintendo. But here we go. It's on the Famicom. It's got the disc system. I forgot to mention that. Nintendo Entertainment System, Super Famicom, Super Nintendo, Famicom, NES Classic. Oh, wait a minute. This is the Famicom Classic. NES Classic, Super Famicom Classic Mini, Super Nintendo Classic Mini. Then it's got all games, favorites, last played, and this is back to the old thing again. So let's have a look at the Super Famicom one. This Nintendo Classic Mini. See, it has Contra 3. It's got a little video running. I have to say that my display has a tiny little overscan problem, but that's nothing to do with the Pi. Final Fantasy, and I just wanted to show you that Star Fox 2 is on there. Yay! See? Cool. Let's not play that. Let's play Let's play Contra 3 because I'm so good at it. Not. So there we go. You can see the sidebars. Can I select? Play. I don't play this game very well. That's not the point, is it? I just wanted to show you what's... Wrong button. Spread shot. All right. Oh. Wow, that killed everyone on the screen, dude. Whoa. Anyway, want to get back? That's a button combination. This one, I believe. And there we go. I want to test whether... Oh, what did I do now? What I do? Oh, okay. I think I started the game. Okay. Yeah, start. I wanted to see if I can get that. Well, doesn't seem that the trick I had for doing the save states works, but I haven't tested that. But it was anyway. I don't know what is that, a pause or something? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, I can switch between players. Can I? Oh, yeah. Anyway, that's not important. Just my little look at the thing, and yeah. There's even a screensaver. Oh, I'm gonna show you how to quit out of it. See, there's options. Quit, shut down system, really shut down, yes. And it shut down. That's how it works. No signal. So that was my little look at the Mini, at the Raspberry Pi. The thing, you saw it. The save state, I know it works. I just haven't set it up properly. So there's one last thing that I forgot to mention, and that is about the heat, because some people have heard about the thing generating heat, and we gotta have heat sinks and all that. Well, the Raspberry Pi was when you buy it, it comes without a case, basically. And you can put a case around it. Now, any chip is going to get hot. So the chip will run temperatures up to, 50, 60, depending on what you do. There's people who've done all kinds of tests. And when you put it in a case, that's going to aggravate any problems that already might be occurring due to heat. So... again, if you buy a thing in a case, make sure that they've done something, that they either put in a fan or heat sinks or whatever. It's just going to prolong the life of your device. Now, any device that you have that has chips in it has had this problem. The old ZX Spectrum, the Commodore 64, they didn't have any heat sinking all of the time, or fans, they were all fanless cooling. So later systems, like nowadays, they have all kinds of fans and they require all kinds of cooling. The Pi needs it as well. There's nothing to it. Just make sure when you buy it that it has some sort of cooling so that you'll sleep better. Because you're going to be playing that thing for hours and hours. Unlike me, because I play for 5 minutes every time and then I put it away again to play Elite again. So, thanks for watching. I hope this was useful for you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye.